In this video, we will explore monitors, a high-level synchronization mechanism widely used in operating systems to manage concurrent access to shared resources. Monitors are a high-level synchronization construct used in concurrent programming. They encapsulate shared data and the operations that can be performed on that data. Monitors automatically provide mutual exclusion, meaning only one thread can be active inside the monitor at a time. This feature simplifies concurrent programming by ensuring that shared data is accessed in a controlled manner. Monitors are supported in several programming languages, including Java and C#, making them a versatile tool for developing concurrent applications. Monitors have four key characteristics. Mutual exclusion ensures that only one thread can execute within the monitor at any given time, preventing race conditions and data corruption. Condition variables offer a mechanism for threads to wait until a specific condition is met before proceeding with their execution. Encapsulation combines shared data with the procedures that operate on it, protecting the data from external interference and ensuring data integrity. Lastly, a signaling mechanism allows threads to notify other waiting threads when a condition has changed, enabling coordinated interaction between threads. The structure of a monitor includes several key components. The monitor declaration encapsulates the shared data and the procedures that operate on it. Private data within the monitor can only be accessed by the monitor's procedures, ensuring data integrity. Procedures or methods define the operations that threads can perform on the shared data. Condition variables allow threads to wait for specific conditions and be signaled when those conditions change. Let's look at an example. Here, a monitor named Resource Manager is declared. It contains private data and procedures that are only accessible within this monitor. Monitors support several key operations that facilitate synchronized access to shared resources. The entry or exit protocol ensures that when a thread calls a monitor procedure, it automatically acquires exclusive access, and when it exits the procedure, it releases that access. The wait operation suspends the calling thread on a condition variable until another thread signals it, allowing threads to wait for specific conditions. The signal operation wakes up one thread that is waiting on a condition variable. If no threads are waiting, the signal has no effect. The signal all operation wakes up all threads waiting on a condition variable, which is useful when any of the waiting threads could proceed after a state change. Condition variables are essential components of monitors, enabling threads to wait for specific conditions to be satisfied before proceeding. When a thread calls wait on a condition variable, it releases the monitor lock, is placed into the condition's wait queue, and is suspended until another thread signals it. Conversely, when a thread calls signal on a condition variable, if there are threads waiting, one of them is awakened, and the awakened thread then reacquires the monitor lock. Looking at the example in the bounded buffer monitor, the put method uses notFull.wait to pause if the buffer is full and uses notEmpty.signal to alert waiting threads that space is available. Here's how a bounded buffer can be implemented using a monitor. The monitor encapsulates the buffer, the number of items it can hold, which is denoted by the variable n, and the condition variables notFull and notEmpty. The deposit method adds an item to the buffer and waits if the buffer is full. The fetch method retrieves an item and waits if the buffer is empty. This implementation ensures mutual exclusion and proper synchronization between producers which add items to the buffer and consumers which remove items from the buffer. There are two primary signaling disciplines in monitors: signal and continue, and signal and wait. In signal and continue, when a thread signals, it continues its execution within the monitor, and the signaled thread is moved to the entry queue, where it must compete for monitor access. In signal and wait, when a thread signals, it immediately exits the monitor, allowing the signaled thread to enter. The signaling thread is then moved to the entry queue. The advantage of signal and continue is a more efficient use of the monitor, where the signaling thread can continue its work. However, it has a disadvantage in that the signaled thread may wait longer, potentially leading to starvation. Signal and wait ensures the signaled thread runs immediately to handle urgent conditions, but it can be less efficient since the signaling thread must reacquire the lock. Monitors offer several advantages, including the encapsulation of data and operations in a single construct, automatic mutual exclusion without the need for explicit locks, and higher-level abstraction compared to Semaphores or Mutexes. They also provide condition variables for thread coordination. However, monitors also have limitations. They are not directly supported in all programming languages. There is a potential for nested monitor calls leading to deadlocks. They are difficult to implement for distributed synchronization, and they introduce overhead due to condition variable management. To summarize, monitors simplify concurrent programming by combining data and procedures while offering structured condition synchronization, and their concepts have influenced modern concurrent programming. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.